What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relay reverse rants, no hate. So, listen, y'all. Y'all know I gotta tell the truth. As always, I'm never going to say something that I don't mean. So let me just say, for the hit me with a copyright claim. So, let me just say, Jarell Miller versus Andy Ruiz. Now, this fight, case in point, Andy Ruiz is looking better than Jarell Miller. I'd say like the first 4 or 5 rounds. And we know that he did hurt his hand. His hand was swollen up really bad. Looked deformed, crazy looking, right? That probably had a lot to do with, I believe it did, with his punch output, because it got to the point where he wasn't letting his hands go anymore. Now, that being said, I still think Jarell Miller won this fight. So, things happen. Now, when I look at it, it makes you think, well, if he didn't hurt his hand, he probably would have won the fight. Because when he was letting his hands go, Jarell Miller had no answers for it. But that's just the way it went. They called it a draw. And, with Andy Ruiz, for a while now, every time at the end of the fight, he's always talking about ring rust, because he's always out of the ring for a long period of time. So, this being a draw, called a draw, I don't know what this does for Ruiz. I don't know what it does for Jarell Miller. I really don't know. It's fighters that seen as food for another fighter, and there's fighters that seen as, okay, I like what he brings to the table, I want to work with this person. And to be honest with you, when I look at that fight, Andy Ruiz's hand speed, his combination punching, all of that was giving Jarell Miller's giving him problems. So it on one hand, it's like you look at Andy and you say, okay, well, Andy was doing his thing until his hand got hurt. You look at Jarell Miller and say, even with the guy that was fighting with pretty much one hand from whatever round it happened in, that's why I feel like I said, maybe 4th, 5th round, because he was winning those rounds. But whenever it happened, from that time to the end of the fight, he pretty much was fighting with one hand. And then they called the fight a draw. And, Miller couldn't get him out of there. So I look at that and I'm just like, it is what it is. But I do think Miller won the fight. At the end of the fight, Miller's known for constantly talking crazy stuff, man. So I don't know. Backstage, he was saying, he wanted to fight Jared Anderson even if he loses. But then he was saying he wished him nothing but the best. If he was his little brother, he'd tell him take some time, take your time with this. You're only 24 years old, and whatever, man. But because in boxing, people say one thing, and then the following week they telling you to suck a dick and you a bitch ass nigga and all that goofy shit. So I don't know, but that's what he said. I don't know. I mean, he was the fan favorite in the fight against Andy. The fans was pretty much cheering for Jarell Miller. And with Andy, it's for him to take off his glove and show everybody his hand. For people saying that's an excuse, it's like, come on, y'all, stop it. You never fought a day in your life. Stop it. Stop it. That was not an excuse. That man's hand legitimately looked like it looked deformed, like he had a baseball sticking up like this part, okay, of his hand. Hand was all screwed up. But hey, man, those things happen in boxing, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, I definitely thought Jarell Miller won that fight. So it is what it is. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.